Good evening everyone, DRBMiller here, and how are you guys doing? The moment of truth has arrived. We've been waiting for it already for about 4.5 days, and the Anthem servers have been switched back on. We can rejoin the Anthem universe and continue with our explorations. Isn't that wonderful? Waiting for that literally for all these days, and I would like to thank everyone who was participating in my daily Anthem Q&As and feedback sessions. We had lots of people coming in and sharing their thoughts and views on everything experienced during the last VIP test, and the vast majority of people loved it and literally talked about the gameplay. Very few people mentioned anything on technical issues front. And as you know, the technical team of Bioware had worked on everything literally 24/7 in order to resolve any hiccups. And literally the reason for my broadcast to be somewhat late and not to be starting at literally 1700 hours as expected was primarily to do with the fact that I wanted to test everything in the game first of all, so that I know already in advance whether I'm likely to be facing the same kind of difficulty. And I can certainly tell you that my first full test had been completed. I've done it for about half hour, and everything seemed to have worked. I didn't experience any major problems such as infinite loading screen or my character being glued to certain space, called rubber banding or lag. I didn't have any other crashes. I did have somewhat problems with the sound, and at times the sound will be coming and going, but this may be to do just with the fact that the servers have been just switched on, and we are just also going to be hoping that this kind of minor problem is going to be resolved. And also, in addition to that, everything seemed very smooth, although I have to say the motion of a main character appeared to be somewhat more choppy. It wasn't as fluid as we experienced the last weekend, but doesn't really matter. What we want to see is just basically the absence of those technical issues which were plaguing us during last week. And I can see that Ipto is here. Hello Ipto, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining my Anthem weekend. You were, I guess, here also last week, perhaps just having a look very briefly on what was happening. And we, as you know, were plagued by these technical issues, but I tested the demo and it seemed to be working fine. So hopefully we are going to get access to the server and everything else, just as I had it during my tests. Anthem is one of the biggest games to come out of Bioware during this decade, and as you know, there is a huge anticipation about the game release. In fact, during my Q&A sessions this week, and I had 4 of them, all of them were quite lengthy, we had more than 2,000 people coming in and about 150 providing us with the comments and views, and people really talked at length about the narration for the graphic design team that was involved in Anthem, for their excitement by the open world, for the scores they collected, for everything which was game related, and that was really truly wonderful. And everybody wanted to know more. Everyone was concerned, excited about the game release and had questions about the end game, i.e. what happens to Anthem once you completed literally everything. So before we start with the broadcast, well, I should say before we start with the gameplay, because the broadcast is already on, I need to tell you that everybody who is doing the test or participating or is an Anthem fan should come to this arena on Sunday afternoon. The reason for that is very simple. The senior members of their team told us that on Sunday afternoon lots of other nice bits of news are going to be revealed, and they will be connected to how Anthem is to be released, and also what is to happen with Anthem once you completed the game. So we all have some ideas and some anticipations about what is like to be said. Everyone is very interested to hear whether there is going to be a season pass, or whether Anthem is going to be continuing through DLC content, or whatever the system is likely to be at the end. And also we did have already one confirmation from the team that Anthem is going to be a cross-platform game, perhaps not during its first couple of weeks, but then after everything rolls, everyone is going to be able to play it on various platforms and come into the same arena, which I think is truly wonderful. Unlike some of the FPS games that require precise shooting, Anthem is not like that. It combines RPG with tactical shooting and with cooperative teamwork, as well as many quests, subquests, and puzzles. So it's a combination of all sorts of aspects of the actual gameplay, and therefore I believe that enabling the cross-platform access, if not right from the beginning, then certainly within the first couple of weeks, is going to be of a tremendous advantage for the new Anthem community and for everybody who wants to be coming in, joining, experiencing the game, and indeed doing some serious co-op in those 4 Javelin suits. I can also tell you that I had a lot of fun last weekend because I played with several teams of 4, and one team in particular was absolutely astonishing and really excellent. They immediately jumped on the tactical shooter, or the strategic kind of aspect of the game, and when I was using my subclass and freezing down the enemies, one guy was firing the rockets at the biggest hostiles, the other was using his primary and secondary in order to destroy the frozen enemy, which was obviously frozen by myself, and then the third character was providing basically the additional firepower, and the Interceptor was trying to draw the enemy towards us in order to trap them. So that was very, very enjoyable, and you could tell straight away that the best gameplay here is going to be literally on multiplayer, and it will be strategic because 4 characters have different abilities in suits. So how is Ibdor? Ibdor, are you also doing the weekend? Are you testing the game? If you are, maybe you want to be coming in as well. We do it together. Because I had no multiplayer experience last week. I mean, I didn't have any multiplayer experiences with my community members. The game was selecting everyone at random, so I don't know whether you downloaded the game and whether you want to come in, and therefore we can try some of the missions, because if I'm not mistaken, I will be replaying my Stronghold mission, which is basically the assault on Swarm Tyrant, and then I'll be able to also engage with free play. That did not really work properly on my system last week. So these are the interesting bits which I'm going to be pursuing and doing, and I'm certainly hoping that lots of our community members that are participating in feedback and coming in during the week are going to be also enjoying it and coming in maybe to join, or indeed just to talk, provide us with comments and views. I certainly hope that this open demo testing weekend is going to be a lot smoother than the last one as far as the technical issues are concerned, because we really had a lot of headache with rubber banding and with infinite loading screen, and I had to be restarting my broadcast many times. Altogether, I think about 40 times I had to be restarting, and when the game worked, then towards the end there were crashes and there were lots of other issues. But this was the first weekend and we're just testing it, so we shouldn't really complain too much, and I'm hoping that indeed in the course of this weekend we are going to have a lot of fun with fewer technical issues. We'll see, and if the issues arise, we'll obviously tackle them. I think what is really most important is for us to enjoy the gameplay, to immerse with all activities, to play as much as possible within those 4-piece teams, and in addition to that, to explore the Anthem universe to the best of our abilities, to get a very good picture on what Anthem is actually about before we jump in with both feet on the 22nd of February when the game is released. So, without further ado, I talked a bit about Anthem. You know already everything about it. I gave you the introduction on 4 of my sessions this week. No need to be talking about Javelin suits or ins and outs of action. The best way to experience it is simply to jump in. So let's just resume. Let's see what the game is actually going to provide us with. There we are. I am connected to the server, which is good because I've seen quite a few postings on Twitter indicating that everyone playing Anthem on Xbox is unable to log in. There seems to be a major Xbox problem, and I'm very sorry to hear that. I am also an Xbox gamer and a PC gamer, and to hear that Xbox is experiencing such serious problems for the second week running is of great concern to me, because the Xbox community is massive. There are lots of wonderful, brilliant community members and very supportive gamers out there, and I feel very sorry that they still cannot log in, but I'm sure that both the Microsoft and the BioWare teams are going to be working this 24/7 to make sure that everyone can come in. So please be patient a bit. We all want to be starting at 1700 hours, but you can see I started mine maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes after although I wasn't really broadcasting. I simply want to test the game and make sure that everything was in order, I can get in, and that the loading worked, which indeed was accomplished in full, really. There were no hitches, no glitches, no problems, and as you could see, there was no infinite loading screen this time. This is excellent. I have also 4 messages, so let's see what the team would have told us. And as you could see, in view of the fact that I had been testing Anthem last weekend, I got lots of expedition rewards, and this is truly wonderful. So we are going to have a look at the expedition rewards. All of us who were testing VIP demo last week have been also provided with the unlocks on 4 javelin suits on Sunday. Just bear with me a second, my voice is going again. And that was a gesture of goodwill coming from BioWare for everyone who was testing the demo, and obviously for everyone who was very patient and grinding it. And in addition to that, we've also given some extra skins or extra bits which could be enabled on our Ranger. So, I mean, I thought that the offer was a bit lukewarm considering what difficulties we had, and I was expecting maybe that everyone who tested it during the VIP demo weekend perhaps could have an early access to the game, and maybe if not the full game, then certainly a few hours, which would have been a bit more appropriate and a bit more generous. However, I'm very pleased to see that they were considering extra rewards, which indeed have been granted since last week, and it appears that I received 4 lots of expedition rewards. So let's have a look what these expedition rewards are. So I have 100 experience awarded for defeating elite enemies. I have 950 experience of alliance and ordinary for defeating elite enemies, for hitting the weak points, for defeating legendary enemies, for triggering combos on enemies that have affected, awarded defeating enemies with gear, awarded for defeating enemies with weapons. So as you can see, my character was very, very active, all these technical issues aside, and I was given lots of experience points, so that's pretty good. And then other rewards, I received 450 experience to 450 alliance experience, awarded for defeating elite enemies, awarded for defeating legendary enemies, and awarded for defeating enemies by hitting their weak points. And then 100 experience, 100 alliance experience, awarded for defeating enemies with weapons. So all of that is really, really good. I need to find out now where we can actually see the results as well. We have again our message of welcome. Welcome freelancer, discover what you can experience during this Anthem demo weekend. Now suit up freelancer, we'll see you in Fort Tarsis and beyond. So maybe I'll try with the old javelin suits. I'll try my Ranger and my Storm during the first mission, and then I will don the other 2, Interceptor and Colossus, and combine them with my learned experiences. So let's see how all of that is going to progress. Controlling your javelin, and we don't really need to do that because I would be then taken to the browser on PlayStation, and you would get that nonsensical, ugly blue screen. And this is what I always try to avoid. And Legion of Dawn edition, basically everyone is being invited to purchase the top tier edition called Legion of Dawn, and if you do so, you will have lots of extra niceties in there. I'm not going to go into that at the moment, but if you were here during the feedback weekend, during the feedback sessions in the week, I talked at length about everything that came together with Legion of Dawn. One of the most important bits for myself is being able to acquire the founding member banner. So the founder member banner is going to be on permanent display with everyone who purchases Legion of Dawn in advance. So that means your pre-order, and generally as long as you are going to be doing this game, this will be prominently displayed, and it will be interacting very nicely with the new community members, because as you obviously know, the game is likely to have lots of newbies coming in for at least 12 to 24 months, and therefore everybody coming in will recognize those who were the true hardcore veterans from the day one, or even from the beta testing days, and I guess I'm going to be one of those in this instance. And then we have a massive thank you message saying, we hope that you enjoy the Anthem demo weekends and we look forward to seeing you again for the worldwide launch on February the 20th. We are hoping that perhaps we will unlock the game a day or two earlier so that we can actually crack on with our stream, with our broadcasts and everything else, the gameplay and our co-op in advance. Right, so if you look at it, I have to say that the controls during the last week were somewhat smoother than this. This is a bit choppy, if you look. And I don't really mind it, but maybe they were tweaking it in order to make it, trouble-free. We picked up a big map at the beginning of our demo last week in here, with all instructions and the missions. And presently I'm being given this mission, which is Shutdown Scar Weapon Operation. And I need to launch Expedition. Right? So we'll have to see. That's in Tyrant 9. And Matthias is here. We don't have to talk to him. We've seen him before. All the other characters, I'll just try to see whether we can talk to him.
Had some visitors in today, new to Fort Tarsis, curious about freelancers.
Unfortunately, all the characters here...
When all said and done, 3 of Matthias isn't so bad. If it were 3 Hallex, I'd burn the fort down.
I really would like to talk to them, but unfortunately I cannot, because they are going to be fully enabled once we get in on the full game. So you could see the content is available in the full game. I was very pleased to see Princess in that developer documentary early in the week. And she was brought in and she was talking literally to us as if she was one of the development team members, telling us all about certain sections of the game. So it was absolutely wonderful. And obviously they prepared that in advance. It was amazing to see that the characters from the game would be then used for such purpose in those developer documentaries, and I really applaud that. In here we have lots of maintenance people working on various vehicles. I'm certain that those vehicles are then to be used by us, but at the moment on this demo we cannot do that, so we have to just carry on. There are 2 different ways out of here. One is through the kind of back passage in there, and the other through the main area. So in fact, in order to present you with 4 Tarsis for you to see really what's where, because this is Matthias, he's one of the lead characters, it's very important for all the missions. And he also is appearing downstairs. He has like a small office, and during our last week's demo, after we brought in a relic from another planet, he was being multiplied by 2. So suddenly we had 3 Matthiases, and then he ordered us to find out as to why this was happening. So we are still to be exploring the reasons for the relic and those kind of mage powers. But I'm not sure whether we are going to be able to find out during the demo weekend. Regardless of that, the explorations are obviously exciting and most interesting. So when you come here, there are a few other characters. As you can see, these are bystanders, but some of them will talk at you and they will say a few things as you walk. In here, we have someone who looks like well, I mean, he is going to be selling us something, some sort of vendor. And this character is going to talk to us.
Hey, buddy. You're getting it done out there.
You saying that in general, or...?
Owen's quick to brag. Not that you haven't earned it, right?
So when you are talking to characters, you have these options, right? And you can ask, well, you can basically respond in 2 fashions. In here, Owen and I are a good team, so this is like a polite response, and Owen's like that is a bit like a warrior-like response, so we are going to be responding politely.
I couldn't do this without Owen.
Keep it up and they'll be talking about us all over Bastion. You're raising our name. We're getting more offers. I've started color-coding the ledgers. It's beautiful.
What about you? Any exciting jobs? Well, besides paperwork?
Remember that arcane vault job my buddies and I took?
How'd it go?
We fly out there and my cipher picks up the vault's location. But it's locked. My buddies and I split up to find the tuning points that will crack it. There's grabbits hopping around. Nice and quiet.
So 2 options there. Sounds peaceful, or you didn't stay that way. If we say you didn't stay that way, it indicates that we went there and we did something. So we can say that as well.
You wouldn't be building this up if it stayed that way.
Yeah, okay. we popped the vault open, but we've attracted Wolven. No problem, we have what we came for, just take off, right? My one buddy, his kid's sister loves that radio show about the crime-fighting Grabbit, Detective Hops Mysteries. He's going on that we can't let Hops die, what'll he tell the kid, and I can't say I'm not with him. Next thing you know, I'm booking it with a Grabbit in my arms, while the other two are flying back to the Arcanist.
So, you know, we can tell him, no, that's a fun job, which is a polite response, or, a bit provocatively, are all of your missions weird? So we'll say, no, that's a fun job.
Now that's one to remember.
Wouldn't have done it without your tie-breaking boat.
Something tells me the job would have been interesting either way.
You never know, eh?
Guess not. See you around, Jack.
As you can see, Jack is one of the freelancers, so he does similar missions to myself.
Check in when you can.
And it's very likely that when we talk to him, we'll be allocated new missions and, you know, new things to do. And he is going to be obviously very prominently placed in the game. So the way out is basically here. So when you come here, there's this back passage, and then at the very top there are always two people semi-hidden talking about certain shady dealings, and it's quite funny because I'm really looking forward to see whether in the game we are likely to be given some sub-quests after we kind of intercept them or question them. You will see that later on, but I just want to be basically presenting you with all of those ins and outs of Fort Tarsis first before we jump on a mission. Lots of our junior members may well be watching our broadcast in order to have it as a walkthrough, you know, for their own learning experience. And a lot of people watch some of the broadcasts also once archived and not when they're being streamed live. So therefore we are going to have a proper introduction, which is what I always do with all of my broadcasts.
Stop by sometime, huh?
We'll take a nice screenshot of that as well. So that's quite nice. And in here we have weekly alliance status. So let's see whether this could be accessed. This content is only available in the full game. Well, that's really sad, because I would like to see what the alliance status was. It looks like we are going to be having separate weekly missions as well. We've seen him already. He does have this massive big map in there.
Brew. It is a good day.
And he will not talk to us. I wonder what his task is going to be in the game. In here we have obviously some sort of vault, lots of different bits of kit and all sorts of items.
Good to see you, freelancer.
And instead of taking a shortcut, we are going to go through the main gate in there, and therefore we'll experience, no, wrong, it's the other way around, it's this way there. On the way to the main exit, we do have this character, and he
My
is
philosophy
quite
is
central.
pretty simple. If you can grill it, it's not worth your trouble. A man's stomach needs standards.
He's quite central to the game. We can't talk to him, but I did see him in trailers and various other bits of promotional material. So, well, we tried to talk to him. He is going to be available in the full game, of course. We'll take a nice screenshot of him and his corner, and then we look forward to meeting him in the game, right? As we can't do this during the demo. Some maintenance works are taking place here. The game is most wonderfully designed. There are lots of secret corners everywhere, and I'm sure there will be plenty of areas for us to explore, very similar to all the other massive big BioWare games. So when we go out, we come to the upper levels of Fort Tarsis. Can walk around a bit, so you can see in here lots of things are basically stashed up in those corners, but we can't do anything in this corridor, so we'll go up towards the main terrace, and let's see, add to Cortex. Can we do that? No, we can't do that. Sadly so, we can't do that. This is going to be accessible just in the full game. bystanders everywhere. Some decorative works are taking place in there. Oh, we have
Freelancer? You know that Arcanist you talked to, Matthias? Were there always 3 of him?
Nope, that's new.
Huh.
She's asking us whether there were always 3 Matthiases, and we've just been told by her that she's a bit worried about it, and then we just confirmed that this indeed has not been the case, because usually there is just 1 Matthias. Yeah, we can't talk to either. I did see her during the last week as well. I think she's some sort of vendor as well. She'll be selling us something. And we'll discover on the 22nd of February what that is going to be. So add Cortex. No, we can't do that either. And then we are going to see him. Can we talk to him? We can't talk to him either. Lots of characters everywhere, as you'd expect. In fact, some of the online magazines were describing Fort Tarsis as being similar to Normandy, you know, the big base of everyone in Mass Effect. And I'm not quite certain whether I would agree. I find Fort Tarsis to be much more atmospheric and different altogether to the way it's construed. The concept is the same. It's a large area where you meet all the different characters who are giving you quests and sub-quests, and you know, you be debriefing them on the missions and that. But atmospherically and visually, this is a completely different place. So I disagree with that comparison completely. I think it was just basically a crude comparison, because in Mass Effect you would have Normandy, which is your base, and here you have Fort Tarsis, which is your base. But that's just about the only thing which is similar. Nothing else. Otherwise, you know, resembles any of that. And I just find both of them to be entirely different and vast. I think that's the other thing. Lots of different places which we can explore. But as you could see, exploring many of those here will not be rewarded, because we can just unlock them once we are in the full game. And lots of different areas to go to. I love doing that, you know, I really do. And we can't go in there. Let's see. So I can see there's some sort of gate in there. Can we go through it? No, it's locked. Again, we can't do that. Back to the main terrace. We can't go there either, as you can see. So let's see if there are any other places we can go to. None of those can be accessed during the demo. And in here, we can't access it either. Well, that is annoying. Who's hiding up there? Sometimes the bystanders will talk to you, sometimes they will not. No, we can't go in there either. We are literally just exploring Fort Tarsis before we launch a mission. None of those characters are talkative. They're all minding their own business. And I think we should do likewise. So once we get here, this is the main Fort Tarsis area. This area is protected by the guards. In here we have a couple of female freelancers chatting and discussing their missions. We have another guard in there. The guards remind me a bit of the characters in Destiny. And the back passage I told you about is here, so just listen to the discussion.
I want my money back.
Sorry, spent it. I'd be up for another game if you wanted to win it back.
Please, I can't afford to lose that money. There's no work at the fort.
Then maybe you shouldn't be gambling.
I have a family.
I hope they're better at cards than you are.
You're going to be sorry you cheated me.
Sure.
I mean it. You watch your back.
You think I haven't heard that before? Your kind is all talk.
You're going
Your
to be
kind is
sorry
all
you cheated
talk.
me.
Sure.
I mean it. You watch your back.
As you could see, there are lots of
You think
shady
I haven't
characters,
heard
and every
that
single
before?
time when you walk
Your
through the
kind is
back
all
passage,
talk.
you will get another couple.
You're
And
going
I'm
to
not
be
sure
sorry you
whether in the
cheated
real
me.
game they actually will
Sure.
engage in
I mean,
conversations, or whether
You
I'll have
watch
to,
your back.
you know,
You
chase
think I
them.
haven't heard that before?
But there will be some sort of activity. Very amusing, very comedic, and therefore really appreciated. We have seasonal weather and day-stroke nighttime switch as well. So frequently when you're going out on certain missions, you may be playing them during the daytime or in pitch black, depending on how the game reacts. And that's very, very good. It's obviously a lot more challenging. So as you come here, you can see this is a sort of bazaar with lots of different people sitting around drinking teas and coffees. But really, the main place of interest is, as you could see in distance in there, our launch pad. And this is where we are going to be donning our javelin suit and then cracking on for all activities and further action. Is she going to talk to us? No, we can't talk to her. Every one of those vendors in here is talkative, but not in the demo. As you can see, he's selling all sorts of bits of kit, which are javelin suit related. Vanity store, not available in this demo. In here we have the same thing. So when you come to the launch pad, you have several characters who are very important. You have Zoe in there, we'll talk to in a moment. She's the maintenance person. She always has something to say about either the suits or the completed missions. And then to your left, which is right there, is the vault. And the vault is a very important place because in it you will be getting your weaponry exchanged, fixed. And there we are. This is the vault, you see. Weaponry, maintenance of all sorts. If we want to be opening the vault, we could obviously see it. And I want to see whether this has been changed since the last weekend, right? Because in here we have shotguns, we have assault rifles. Assault rifles. I see. So basically from the vault we can be then collecting weapons. So I had assault rifles, power 14, power 14, power 10, 10 and 14. So principally considering, I think we want to have this one. Can we use that? No, we can't. Doesn't look like we can use anything. Okay. Marksman rifles, 2 items. Sniper rifles. That's been enabled, 16, 13. So basically in the vault you will get all sorts of weapons, you will get components, as you could see, basic What is this? That is armor reinforcement of 14. Probably the best we could get last week as well. And then we have gear. Ranger Storm. Ranger. Frost Grenade. So I'm not sure whether it's not enabled by the looks of it. Then consumables are not applicable. Crafting we have, so we have several things which we collected, and I'm not exactly sure how crafting works as yet, so I can't really tell you more about it. Junk, as we discard certain weapons, and then that will be the vault. So remember, when you come to the launch pad, it is going to be on your left. So that's pretty good. And then I've not been up there, in fact, last week. Maybe it'd be a good idea to have a look. Let's see what is up there. So we have another garden here. It's like some sort of fortified possessions or something really that needs to be protected is being kept here. And then if we go up, let's see, didn't go up there either. Can I jump? Simply can just walk, so this is not accessible. Okay. So it looks like we can't really go up there. Never mind, we'll stroll down here nicely and leisurely. Okay, so we come to Zoe. Let's see what she'll have to say. Oh, she does want to talk to us. She did talk to us last week, though. Okay, so basically, I'll just go into the details of this launch pad. The launch pad is the place where we are donning our Javelin suits. So we are going to be able to select between 4 different Javelin suits. And they're Ranger, Storm, Colossus, and Interceptor. Ranger has great accuracy, and the suit is equipped with rocket launchers and grenades. Very good for certain kind of combat, very precise. Storm is like a mage, special abilities, but perhaps with a weaker shield, and therefore more vulnerable to incoming fire. Fairly fast as well. The Storm suit also has the ability to float, which is giving you an extra flying ability compared to everyone else, and that is going to be very useful in certain missions. Interceptor is your fastest character, or your fastest suit. In it, you're able to run very fast and draw your enemies towards traps or ambushes. And Colossus, as the word suggests, is large, solid and sturdy. Perhaps not the fastest amongst the 4, but literally well equipped with severe firepower, which can be used from the back if you're attacking some enemies in the distance. And particularly good if deployed in a team of 4, and then you can really work strategically around the tactics in order to destroy the enemy. So perhaps you can have your Interceptor Storm drawing the enemy out, particularly if they're quite fast, and then setting up an ambush with Ranger and Colossus together with your Interceptor as well, somewhere nearby, and then you can hit the enemy once they reach the point with a lot of heavy weaponry. So the way you are going to be changing your suit and getting everything
I wonder when they all came down.
Is through Forge, right? So basically you come to the Forge and you enter. So once you enter the Forge, you are going to be given this display. So you'll see you have Storm, Ranger and Colossus. Right. So we are going to unlock Interceptor.
The Dominion is on the move, and this javelin will enhance your quick strike capabilities. It's evident that your combat skills are improving.
Thanks.
The Interceptor is not for rookies. That's why we waited to introduce it to you. Corvus developed this suit so our agents could get in quick and get out quicker. This javelin is more agile than anything you've experienced.
Sounds deadly.
It is, especially when you consider its advanced weaponry. Our agents have found its stealth abilities invaluable in delicate situations. But be careful. Great speed comes at a price. Lighter armor.
Good to know.
I'm interested in what you can accomplish with the Interceptor.
So as you've heard, this is not for the beginners. Therefore the shield is not as strong. Interceptor, similar to Storm, is vulnerable to incoming fire. So that's worth keeping in mind. And the speed is going to be very useful if you are using this javelin within your 4-piece. And as I said, you can run around very fast, you can draw faster enemies to ambushes and interception points, and indeed you can be used as a scout in order to survey what's happening out there. So altogether a very, very good javelin suit. I unlocked it, but I will not now done it. We'll go to Colossus with unlock as well.
You have made a good choice, Freelancer.
Thanks, Yarrow.
Colossus is the most powerful of all javelins. Not so fancy, but this one hits very hard. Thick armor makes it slow, but with a big cannon and heavy shield, others run, not you. Outside the wall, you are the wall. And this particular Colossus is close to my heart.
Why is that?
Same chestplate I wore in combat many years in the past. And now, you will wear it.
You wore this in battle?
Oh yes, shot many times. Wear it. Continue the work. Who knows the story you will write?
So as you heard, this is a strong, solid, big and sturdy javelin, ideal for massive attacks on the enemy, but not really with the ability to move around really fast. And therefore we have to be using this Colossus together with our other javelin suits in a team of 4 in order to use its abilities the very best. And in here we can hear it described as heavily armored suit, which is the largest and strongest javelin. You can count on the Colossus to hold the line. I can certainly vouch for that. I've played with a few Colossuses during the last week, and they were absolutely awesome, watching my back and hitting lots of my mortal enemies from afar. So we'll skip that. And quite frankly, I think in order to give us a very, very good picture, what we'll do is we'll start with the Ranger, we'll then jump on Storm, after that we'll go on Colossus, and then we'll use Interceptor. So each mission will be using a different javelin suit, just in order to find out what the difference is. And we are going to be, well, I completed the story missions last week, so I'm quite curious to see whether we can replay them, and that indeed would be very, very useful for everyone, because you can see and experience a few more story missions, and particularly in the course of this weekend without any major lag or technical interferences. So let's get on and let's just don our Ranger suit. So as you can see in here, we have, just bear with us a second.
Now here's where it gets fun. Time to make a statement.
Yeah, I didn't want to switch on first of all, so we have now our ranger. So you can see that would be for our Colossus. Then we have our Storm. Okay, and then Scepter. So as you can see, each one of those 4 javelin suits is very different, and basically what is very important to recognize is that you are going to be able to customize every single character. So when you come to your ranger, you can see that each one of the sections can be customized. So when you go to helmet, you click on it, and then you can either equip or unequip. And I don't have much money, so you can see I'm being given there the option of using this rare helmet, but I don't have enough money to change, so principally I have to get some more coins in order to change it. And every single piece of kit can be customized and exchanged, so it's nice and easy. So when we go back, that's helmet, then there's chest. So let's say it wants to change appearance. We have here, so do you have any unlocks? No unlocks. In here we have 2, so this is default torso and this is relic torso, which I equipped last week and I bought it. So if you were to look, you can see the difference, and you can obviously bring your character up, zoom in, you can see the difference straight away. See that? Click on that, go back. It's not working. No, it's working. Okay. See that? No. So we are going to keep the default also, I think. But yep, okay, that one, which is what I enabled last week. With arms, we have here different equipment. Again, we can examine that. If you look, oops, the other way, the other side's probably better. Like that. See, and that. So we'll keep relic arms, which is what I equipped last week. And then we can have a look at legs. Again, put it back on. Don't see him too well actually, probably better to look at it like that. We keep all the items and all the kit which I purchased last week. So change colors, you can. I was doing that last week, so you have very, very many you know, different kinds of colors which you can use. So you could see your character could look all sorts. Very, very customizable, and you really can just simply try everything. But I was doing that last week, so I'd rather not carry on with this because this may bore everyone. And then secondary, tertiary, primary, secondary, tertiary. Quite curious to see what this is now, I forgot. So principally you can customize literally everything in here. So what's very important as well is when you're putting a javelin suit on is to consider what weaponry you are having on you.
Let's get you ready to go.
So our ranger does have assault launcher. So if you look at what sort of missiles it will have, you can be considering the very best, right? So you have here missiles 10, missiles 14, 12, 14. So let's see, this is seeking missile. Launches a missile that tracks towards the target, impact, combat, and equipped. That's the equipped one, okay. Fires a volley of 3 acid darts to seek a single target. So in fact this may be the best one. We may equip that one this time. So we will leave that one. So we have special rockets in there, venom darts. Right? They will be launched from our javelin suit. And then we'll have a look at weapons. So from the weapons we can, as you could see, I have already equipped the best weapon. So that's this one, sledgehammer. And we have lots of other weapons as well, but we'll take the one with the greatest power, because obviously we are, you know, beginners, and we want to make sure that the enemies are being intercepted correctly. So sledgehammer is going to be our primary. Our primary weapon is going to have power of 18. Optimal range is 45, ammunition is 50, the magazine is 50, RPM is 300, and damage is 92%. So it's the heaviest, but it is slowest hitter in light machine gun class. The trouble with it does have a lot of recoil. So for instance, when I was trying to hit enemies that were flying, this weapon was literally having a lot of recoil, preventing me from kind of bang on hit on the target. So that is something I can experiment with later on in the game. But I want to have the most powerful kit right at the beginning, and this is obviously the most powerful one. And crafting tutorial. You can craft items by pressing X if you have the specific rarity of the blueprint unlocked and the required crafting materials. Blueprints are unlocked primarily by completing marked challenges. Crafting materials are obtained primarily from harvestable objects in the world, primarily in free play, and from salvaging existing items, but you can also purchase them. So principally harvesting of those items is likely to be increasing their power and their abilities. At the moment I don't have any of that. Let's see. So for instance, what do I have equipped? 18. That's sledgehammer. Okay, got the craft. Yeah. So if I wanted to do that, I would need 23 chimeric alloy, 23 chimeric compound, 30 weapon parts, and 18 uncommon amber. So I have, well, I have some of them, but I don't have as many. So for the, you see, the kit is uncommon, rare, epic. So the actual strength will be dependent on what level you bring this this weapon to. So if you are bringing it to uncommon, then that's rarity is rare, and then epic, and then legendary. And there are also some other levels as well which we cannot see at the moment. So that's quite good. Anyway, so that's our primary. and our secondary is our sniper rifle, Whirlwind. And again, I equipped myself with the best possible sniper. Damage is 92, RPM is 300, ammunition is 50, and optimal range is 45. In fact, I think that this weapon might have suffered some damage in combat, and therefore it is showing us red. I'm not 100% sure. So I will still keep this sniper on me because I absolutely love the sniper, and I think the sniper served me really, really well. No, I don't think there is anything more powerful. I did collect the most powerful weapons last week, so that's all in order. We just want to double check also the craft elements. They're very similar to the primary. So coming back to what I've been describing, when you come to the forge, you can then simply customize everything on your character, which includes your weaponry. Then we can still have a look at these grenades. We were doing that last week as well. And let's see. The best grenades have been equipped. No, they weren't actually. So frost grenade is the best. We want that rather than seeker grenades or other seeker grenades or frag grenades, because frag will be just, you know, like a grenade which is going to be providing you with some cloud and fog in order to distract the enemy. So that's 16. Rare grenade, recharge 11, radius 4, eye status 60. 10% shield and 5% shield. So that is the best we can have at the moment. This is support gear. Bulwark point we have. This is a shield, and that's basically your spherical shield that blocks projectiles over the ranger's position. So that's pretty good. And we have equipped that last week. And then we also have components. So let's see. Shield reinforcement I equipped. And shield reinforcement, I wonder whether it can be 18, but I don't think it can. So I wanted to have shield reinforcement. Still have a look at the rest. I've got the best one equipped. So really our character is just simply and fully equipped already. Obviously I worked quite hard last week to define what the best kit it will be for my character, and then if you were to be customizing, then indeed you can customize here his appearance as well. So have a look at vinyls. So that's primarily cosmetic. It will not have any major impact on your fighting powers. I'll put a new on because I think new may be more powerful. Okay, that's good. It's new. New. Paint. No, I was quite happy with that. I don't have to change paint. Legs. Default legs and relic legs. We bought that last week. Arms, chest and helmet. So we've gone through that. We don't need to look at it anymore. So we have this as equipped.
without tripping over something.
So as you could see, we had enabled our ranger suit, which is obviously different to what was there before, because last week I was playing it as Storm. So we had done everything in 4 tasks which we wanted to see so far. We have talked to various characters. I did walk you through several areas, but there's one thing I didn't show you, I just remembered. There are 2 different things on our controls which we can use at any given time in the game. The first one is your touchpad on PlayStation. So when you click on touchpad, you will get this sort of display, and that is map, social and settings. So this is similar to what we had in Mass Effect. Instantly we can see where we are, and you know, I'm not sure whether we are going to be able in the full game to fast travel as well. It's a possibility, but I'm not sure whether this is enabled at the moment. And this is the map of Fort Tarsus, so you can see everything which is of significance in there. Vanity store, forge. So maybe we can go and have a look at Vanity store before we go out, because it looks like it is enabled. Amal Aruna. So you could literally just explore those different areas, but Amal and Aruna, I'm wondering who they are. Lime system, challenges, barracks. I wonder whether we can get in, because I'd like to mark it on a map. Let's see. So we need to go to the right flank in there. Alright, so we'll go there. And then in addition to map, you have social, and social is basically giving you the option of inviting your friends to come in. So you can simply go there, see here, invite player, so if I was to click, I can invite people for my friends, you know. See lots of different friends in there. And then we have friends. We can see who is enabled, who might be able to come in. And we have favorites, so they might be our favorite friends, and people who are recommended and ignore list, people who are causing us trouble, and therefore we can put them on the list. It's very easy. It's very easy to access. You just get to the section which is called social, and then from there you're collecting your friends and fire team members. Then on settings, you can literally be controlling and doing everything: gameplay, controls, audio, video, interface, accessibility, your account, quitting the game. So everything is in there. Right? So let's see: gameplay, general, tutorial, pop-ups, you know, controls, general controller, audio, volume speakers, video, etc., etc. So really, what concerns us the most is social, where we are to be making friends and creating fireteam membership. Those guys could be selected randomly, or we can bring in people according to our preference and from our pool of community members. So it is going to be open to you, fully customizable, and indeed you can collect people and request for them to come in at any given moment in time. Map is going to be very important, because evidently wherever we are, it will tell us where we need to go. So I'm quite curious, because there are several places in here that I haven't been to, but I'm wondering whether there is going to be access to them. So I want to see that. Okay, so I didn't go to these areas. So this is your vanity store, is it? Yeah, the vanity store is not accessible, so I've seen that.
What about the freelancers?
No, we can't access those areas actually, I don't think. We would have to go through there. Which in fact we can go through there. Okay. So maybe I just simply didn't discover the right corridor, the right alley. So where are we now? Okay. Barracks. I would have passed that. Must be another way in there. Come to the bar. We come to the bar. We were in the bar several times last week. And indeed. So let's see where this is. Ah, this is where it is. Okay, okay. So we have talked to them already. We have been here. So it's not. It is not something completely unknown. I just thought that perhaps I wasn't there before, but I indeed visited those areas already several times. We have Aruna in here, and she's obviously very important. And we already were rescuing her in one of the missions. And then we have Amal, I think. So we'll talk to him. He's always asking lots of questions related to several ladies visiting him and coming here to the bar. So let's see what he has to say today.
Hey, I was hoping you'd drop in.
Here I am.
Remember I told you about Karila and that package, and you said don't take it if you don't know what's in it?
Yeah.
Okay, so she wouldn't tell me what was in it, so I didn't take it. The next morning, her door's wide open, and I see some guy with a death grip on her arm. So I walk over, just to see if everything's all right. Then the guy tells me to walk away. I thought Karila needs my help, so I say, I don't think so. That's when I notice he's holding a knife. He comes at me, and then Karila kicks him in the stomach and jumps on his back. Before I know it, she's got the knife, and he's holding his neck. He takes a couple steps and slowly sinks to the ground. Then Karila gives me a look, starts crying, and says, please help me. So now she's in my apartment with the package, and across the lane, there's a dead guy in her place.
Well, he always has an interesting story to tell, and in this instance he is obviously in a dicey situation. So what are we going to suggest here? Contact the authorities, or you look guilty, cover it up? Well, we are going to be a dedicated warrior that always abides by the law. Therefore we'll say contact the authorities.
Go directly to the Sentinels and tell them what happened.
Okay, thanks. I owe you big time.
Get to it.
So that's the best advice I could have given him. Let's see whether he's going to have a result. Otherwise he might be arrested. God knows what the punishment is here in the Anthem universe. We had talked to her already, but we are going to talk to her again. So there you go.
Safe?
For now, at least.
Wonderful. Matthias can be difficult, but I can't imagine the Arcanist Order without him.
Sounds like there's a story here. You did refer to him as that jerk when we first met.
I did? No, I probably did. That sounds like me. It's a professional rivalry. And he borrowed my horoscope and never gave it back.
So again, I think what we need to really get clear about is when you are responding to various characters, when you're in conversation, it's the best if you're holding the same style of questioning or the same kind of responsiveness which you are going to be given. Contrary to some other BioWare games where you would have had 5 to 6 options to choose from, literally in this demo we are having only 2. So there's a lot of dialogue, but we are given a somewhat simplified approach to resolving certain situations and issues. And the way they are, one is meek and polite, the other one is a bit abrasive and arrogant. And those two will be then, clashing if you are to be choosing them consecutively. It's, from my point of view, you will choose your character to be as he is, just the way you are. And when answering certain questions or getting into discussions, you will want to pursue your own character traits. You don't want to be clashing all the time, right? And therefore the storyline and everything else is going to be developing accordingly. So keep this in mind when answering questions. As you've seen, I always resort initially to a polite, courteous, diplomatic approach. And in this instance, we know that she's not friendly with Matthias because she was already coming up with some issues, and we want to kind of pacify the situation because he's a very, very important character in the game. And we'll say that I'm sure he had reasons, which is polite and diplomatic. So let's see what happens.
I'm sure there was a good reason for that.
He just forgot he had it, then he lost it, and... Well, Matthias is single-minded in the pursuit of his studies. It means he forgets other things. Other people. It makes him a great Arcanist, but a terrible friend. Or partner.
Wait, you two...
Very briefly... We realised early on that it wasn't going anywhere. Matthias's first and only love is the work. You could probably say the same about me. No one becomes an Arcanist to go only part way. It requires everything you have.
So what we can say here is like being a Lancer, because she was talking about this great dedication to the cause.
I get it. It's like being a freelancer.
Exactly. You risk everything. No one does that just for fun. As Arcanists, every time we deal with a Shaper instrument, we understand we could die, or be divided in 3. You have to believe in the work hard enough that it makes you a little loopy, you know? Who else would do this?
Is it worth it?
Absolutely.
So we've talked to her. We figured that her and Matthias were rather close, and in due course they parted company, and we didn't get any sub-quests from her because she's obviously bonded with story missions. But always good to come here and to talk to everyone. As you can see, beautifully designed environment. Took a very nice screenshot of those two guys. And we can have maybe one of her as well. And then of the barman as well. But maybe... Let's see. Yep. And we come from the other side. There isn't anyone to speak to, but I just like the environment. I think it looks beautiful. So we'll take a screenshot of the bar. In fact, I know a restaurant in London which is called Le Bant, very similar to this. You in fact wonder whether anybody from the team would have been there from the BioWare team, because it's designed in exactly the same fashion, looks exactly the same. You've got these kind of private quarters and that. Maybe not as palatial, but very similar in flavour and all else. So we visited this section. We know this is our bar. We can always come in here and relax. We can talk to some of those characters, and no doubt that there will be other characters visiting the bar as well. So we discovered it. And we know that we can't talk to any of these guys. I think I can't talk to him either. No, it's all closed. See, can't come in. We've been here before. In fact, I want to take a screenshot of them. Looks very nice. Like that. Yeah. For a moment I thought there was something in here for me to collect. But that was not the case. In here? Oh no, I've been here before. Alright. I think that's probably all that we can find here. Very quickly just have a peek in there. Yeah, this is the area where we have all the Matthiases. And we don't have to really speak to them.
Lady Cardia and Commander Vool, huh? Gossip's everywhere. Fort Tarsus's power couple. That Vool. There's always something about a man in uniform, isn't there? Yeah, hi.
This is really good. Where's the third one? Oh, there he is. Ah, he's not talkative compared to the rest. 3 Matthiases now.
Hey, hey, hey.
Indeed, hey, hey, hey it is. Well, my dear friends, we had completed our exploration of Fort Tarsus. We had customized our javelin suit. We had prepared our ranger javelin to be put on. So we are more than ready to proceed. I can see that the actual movement on in Fort Tarsus is somewhat choppier than last week, but I'm sure they were tweaking various issues technically, and therefore it's not as smooth, but that will be all resolved as we enter the full game. What's very important is so far we experienced no technical issues, there's been no lag, there's been no rubber banding, and there's been no problem with logging in. So we are going to be getting into our suit, and we are going to be going to the Tyrant Mine to basically shut down Scar Weapon operation. So I will take a short break. I have to get myself a hot drink, I need to stretch a bit, get my head together, and then we will carry on with our adventure in this wonderful, mysterious, vast, unknown Anthem universe. So bear with us, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. There we are, my friends. I'm back, nicely refreshed and ready for our first big adventure of today. So as you know, we have explored our 4 tasks and we are ready to proceed and get into the tyrant mine in order to destroy that swarm tyrant. So let's see whether everything is going to work. We've got our ranger suit here and we are ready to engage. If you're wondering how to get in, it's very simple. You just simply walk to the suit like this, and it says here start expedition. You click on your X button, you get in, and then you're ready. So you could see you're being given this option: Tyrant Mine, Shutdown Scar, Weapon Operation. Difficulty I selected was easy, start expedition, but I want to see whether we have the option consumables, difficulty, no. Okay, so it's easy. Start expedition. Free play. Well, free play we'll try a bit later, but at the moment we are going to be obviously looking at this Academy Rents Tyrant Mine, so that's what we want to do. Shutdown Scar Weapon Operation. Okay, everyone ready? Our first mission of the day is about to start, so stand by. Good to see that we don't have any more that infinite loading screens, which was bothering us last week, causing me many restarts, reloads, and terminations of my broadcast. Let's see what happens. I tested it early on, everything worked. It was taking time. There we are, it worked. So we're being brought in. Looks like we have...
Patching in our contact from Corvus.
Freelancer, I see you're not one for briefings.
I like to learn on the go.
I thought you there. Name's Sev. Corvus has assigned me to counter Scar activity around Fort Tarsus.
Since when does Corvus care about scars?
Since they started making acidic weapons to attack supply caravans.
That's a good reason.
We think this is where they're making the acid.
Any idea how?
I will need to find that out and put a stop to it.
All these mines on there, so you could see.
Found the relic.
Scars have done something to it. It's gone volatile.
For those of us who don't speak Shaper, that's bad, right?
Obviously. Freelancer, you'll need to silence the relic.
Oh, that's good. They're collecting the relics as well, which is good. There's a relic in here. See whether they collected it already or not. Flying feels a bit different than last week, has to be admitted. Let's see. Okay. I need to lag it because we still have a few more relics to collect. It's our first adventure for today, so, you know, we can afford to do it a bit slower than otherwise. There's another whisper in here, or echo, whatever it's called, which I think they did not collect. Let's see where it is.
Energy levels are dropping. You're halfway there.
I can't see it. Somebody must have collected it then. Never mind, we'll let them collect the whispers. We'll just basically crack on with... It does seem to be somewhere there. Are they there? No, I don't see it anymore. Don't matter. Because what we need to do is we need to collect those echoes and then bring them to that portal, and then they register, and after that we can just carry on. As you can see, the other guy is already advancing. Oh no! Certainly can use you see, that's what you call a proper co-op, because he was frozen and then we can just get rid of him. Still 2 echoes left. Let's see where these echoes are. Oh, there's a bit of the rubber banding in here. That's a lot though. Happening earlier. There's no rubber banding at all. Still one more left. Oh, we got them. Okay.
Silenced. Good work, Freelancer.
It looked like the scars were bringing eggs to the relic. The eggs were filled with acid. Could be using the relic to weaponize it.
Let's check the second relic. Put the theory to the test.
Okay. Some rubber banding. Not a lot, but there's some.
Relics up ahead.
This one's a lot more crowded. Look, eggs everywhere. Your theory's got legs.
I'll pat myself on the back after I dealt with the scars.
Some really good firefights in here, so we'll join in. Rubber banding. Gonna kill me. Rubber banding is the severe lag. And I want to go down there, go back into that. I just selected 1 rather than 12, okay. The lag is not severe, so that's pretty good. Not here. The lag is preventing me from reaching my objective. See that? It wasn't really bothering us earlier, because it just suddenly come on. I can't move on. Go anywhere. I want to select those echoes and I cannot. I just thought that it was problem free, but I guess as people joined in, the server is already over capacity. I didn't know. Cannot go anywhere. Seems like they're dead spots, you know? And if you don't step on them, then you're not experiencing. But you can't predict where these dead spots are going to be. Because obviously when you're looking for, you know, you're looking for those echoes, and so one echo should be here. Let's see where it is. These are the eggs that hoist very nasty enemies. And therefore it's quite good to get rid of them, because otherwise they'll split when you're attacked by those enemies in large numbers. So he's experiencing a lag as well. this lag is affecting flying as well. I need to see where...
Up, Scars!
That's pretty good. My infinite weapon work. Oh no, I was killed. Thank you. Many scars are attacking from all sides, and therefore I'm being killed again. But there's something wrong also with my movement. I'm not really as placid as I was last week for some reason why, and the lag began to affect my flying and sprinting. So that is a bit annoying, but in Anthem, if you are doing a multiplayer and you get killed, you can't respawn. You have to be waiting until somebody else comes and revives you. So unless they see me, I'll have to be waiting for quite a while. Got on. I'm not sure whether the team members are notified when somebody is downed, and whether they should need to wait until somebody has visual contact. I'm not sure. But unfortunately, as I'm dead, I can't do anything. I just have to wait until somebody revives me. And because there's so many enemies, my teammates perhaps are not aware of the fact that I'm being killed. Can't see any friendlies in here, just enemies. This was one of the concerns also raised by some of the community members, that during the multiplayer you had to be waiting until somebody would revive you, and I think that really is so I don't know what happened now.
Keep looking for the glowy things.
Echoes.
Right. Those.
Don't know what that is. Oh no, that's wrong. They already destroyed it. The question is, where are the echoes? So I need to find those echoes. Okay, one echo. Rubber banding. Killed instantly from here. Can't get out. Obviously I'm not moving and they're killing me. Well, lag is killing me and I wanted to get that echo from above. Well, the game's not functioning again as it should. No infinite screens, but the rubber banding is here. And they will probably not see me. So I'm going to be stuck in here again, dead, whilst I was trying to get that echo from above. Oh, somebody's coming to rescue me. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it.
Relic silenced. You think we're... What was that?
It came from below.
Of course it did. Hate to say it, but that thing is probably what's producing the eggs. If we don't get rid of the source, the scars will come back and keep making weapons. Hey, find me a way underground.
Already done.
We need to be now moving on because they had completed the echoes. Some rare items, got all sorts in there. Careful enough. All these eggs are in here. I didn't really destroy them.
There. That door should lead underground.
Why is there a door to a cave?
To keep something out?
Or in.
Did you just yell?
Oh, the big bad Corvus agent's not a fan of scorpions. Well, you know, rabbits, their likability isn't up for debate.
Through an underwater passage ahead.
Like, what's a hurry? You don't want to get left behind in this place.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Passage in there.
It's almost peaceful down here.
Scorpions can't swim, right? Don't worry, Seb. I won't let them get you. That's a lot of eggs.
You know what they say? You've got to crack a few eggs to make an omelette.
I don't want that omelette. What is that?
Another relic. Careful, Freelancer. It's unstable.
I hate it when they do that. What do we do now?
Gather the fragments and silence the relic.
I can't see a thing. Don't know where that gone.
Reinforcements incoming.
How'd they get down here?
Bastards love to blow.
Not many enemies are coming our way. Don't see them at all.
Hey, freelancer. More scars. I know. He's looking extra powerful. Hey, door's still closed and there's notes everywhere.
Give it a minute. It should work itself out.
Should?
Energy readings are stabilizing, albeit slowly. Just stay in the center. Any interference will cause the energy to spike again. Stay on the platform.
I don't think our friend liked that. Too bad. I'm just getting started.
This lag is causing me so many problems. Look at it. I can't go advance. I can't advance. Come on, help. Anyone can help. Nobody can. Just to buy the service. Look at it.
It got quiet.
Bet it'll stay that way.
It's happening more frequently now than at the beginning of the evening test. It's really annoying. You're in the middle of the action and, you know.
It's pretty dark in here.
Throw down a flare. It'll help.
You freelancers have tools for everything. Back into the deep.
Just when I thought
that's just wrong.
Everything was going to work nicely.
Remember?
Yeah, as soon as many more players get in, then we are having the same problem, and the problem is the servers are overloaded outage. Where did they go?
be unprofessional to cut the link, right?
Highly.
Damn it. Next time, I expect big-ass bugs to be in the mission briefing.
You'd have to show up for that to help. Wonder how many beers it'll take me to forget that thing. I'm gonna go with 8.
1 for each of the tyrant's legs.
No more scorpion talk, please.
Terrific. We managed to destroy Swarm Tyrants, so the mission is completed. Excellent. It's very difficult though. Lots of enemies attacking, as you could see, and the idea was to use the infinite weapon on Swarm Tyrant and then massive firepower unleashed from all 4 javelins. Eventually we got it right. So let's see what happens now. We should be getting our experience rewards. I mean, the experience points and rewards. Let's see whether we are to get this. Certainly hope. Yep, we've got it. Three Rangers, 1 Colossus. Legionnaire medal we got. Experience points, let's see. 4,500 experience points. And there we are, coming up, alliance bonus. 700, adding alliance bonus. Okay. Taken all these screenshots, which is wonderful. There we are. Alliance tier nil, alliance tier nil. Soldier, soldier. Another screenshot of that. So it looks like I've already reached level 15. I don't know why, because I haven't done anything much. I've just gone progressed up the ladder rather rapidly. And no more levels for me to reach. But I have to say, the trouble with the mission was, for me, again, technical, because lag was affecting my mobility and I was again rubber banded to certain dead spots. Therefore I couldn't really either attack enemy at will or run away as I wanted, so therefore I died a few times. And that indeed is of major concern, because the rubber banding seemed to have increased as more gamers came into the arena. It wasn't really affecting us literally at 5 o'clock, so I don't know what's going on. But let's just find out what is to follow. The loot is going to stay with us by the looks of it. Quite curious to see what salvage would mean. It's frag grenade. Description. Venom darts, detonating strike, assault rifle, ammunition. Expedition ended. We need to go back to Fort Tarsis, so that's basically where we are going to go. I see the loot given should not be salvaged, because then we are dismantling it and then we are getting some weapon parts or so. Well, the first mission of our evening was greatly enjoyable, and it would have been even better had we not had that lag. And the lag was affecting us more seriously. Therefore I couldn't really move around at will. I couldn't shoot as I wanted. I did manage to take a few clips of the firefights, but lag was present in various areas of the mission, which is really very, very annoying. But the gameplay and the way we proceeded was very enjoyable, so... Curious to see whether there's anything else I can do in addition to that. So let's see if I wanted to do something else. Map social settings. Okay. So it's not allowing me to be repeating these missions, which is a bit annoying. I fancy doing those. Current mine. I think these ones are not registering during the demo. So as you could see, we have challenges which were completed, and that's really automated. When you are doing certain firefights and, you know, weapons trial for Tinia, ultimate trial of Gornis, sharpshooter trial, so I completed all of those during my missions. Trials, Path to Glory, Gold, Trial of Tarsus. So you need to be defeating those enemies. So depending on how many enemies you destroy, you will be getting rewards. Okay. So there's quite a lot to do in here by the looks of it. So Path to Glory, trials and challenges, missions. Stronghold Master. Two of 10. Successfully complete Stronghold Expedition. So 2 completed. Stronghold Master completed in full. Gear. Weapons, combat, combo reactions, trigger combo reactions during combat 2450, enemies defeated 36 of 100 with the ultimate ability. And with melee, I've not used any. Okay. Library. Tutorials. Just a moment. I want to see also if we could get... Expeditions. Free play. Okay. Free play allows you to explore the far reaches of Bastion on your own terms, whether it's fulfilling contracts out of 4 tasks or exploring the jungle during free play. You may encounter world events, gather plant and mineral resources needed for crafting. Meet other friendly lancers or even discover hidden secrets waiting for brave explorer to find. Once you've unlocked free play, you can launch an expedition at any of the free play start locations on the map at any difficulty. Free play cannot be experienced privately. Okay, to end free play, select an expedition on your map. Missions. Missions are story-based encounters. Each completed mission guarantee rewards as well as freelancer fee. Okay, so that's... Strongholds are some of the most challenging expeditions for freelancers. These threats to Bastion are serious enough, and they require a focused team of freelancers working together in order to succeed. Okay, done now. So let's see this. If we are to be doing one of those free play expeditions, start expedition. Okay. Earn extra rewards by reinforcing resistance squad. Mission and stronghold. What would this be? Doesn't seem to work. Ah, it does work. Okay, I've got it now. So, mission quick play. Earn extra rewards by reinforcing other freelancers and active missions or contracts. So what we do is, I worked it out. So this is literally for everyone. Watch this. If you want to be doing free play, you need to go to mission quick play, right? So go to that and then you basically select, and if you want to find out what you're selecting, you can be enforcing a mission or stronghold. Okay, so in this instance we'll say mission, and then we go to quick play. Okay, we already selected that. Select mission, right? Select mission, and then we go back. So we selected mission for quick play. Earn extra rewards by reinforcing other freelancers in active missions and contracts. Okay, and then if you want to carry on, so that's probably why it didn't work last week. I didn't really work out this properly. And we go then to, after we selected mission quick play, start expedition and select. Very curious to see how this is going to work. I've not done this before, so this is literally the first attempt. Let's hope it is going to be as marvelous as expected. So is everyone enjoying the gameplay? Hopefully. Just I'm hampered a bit by that lag, similar to last week, but it's not as severe. That has to be said, it's not as severe. That obviously is very good. But again, I could be probably playing that stronghold mission again and again. I can be literally mastering my special abilities on each javelin. So let's explore the free play, because this is what we've not done before, and let's see a bit of that. Curious to see whether there's going to be any difference. Alright, there is going to be, because we are entering a story mission. Ask Aruna call to analyze the Dominion samples. Okay. There are other people in there by the looks of it. So I'm being brought to a team because they just literally dropped me into that mission. Okay, we'll start that. We'll see what this is going to be like. We better hurry.
You're hurt. Stay here. I'll handle it.
Be careful. There's an Scar leading them. Huge, dangerous. It's been...
So what am I to do when I'm getting this rubber band again?
A makeshift prison camp? The kidnapped Arcanists. The Stars have them in cages here.
I can't go anywhere from the starting point. There's nothing I can do. I just have to wait until I'm being transported automatically. The servers of Electronic Arts are definitely not operating as they should. If, in fact, in a moment, once I complete this, I'll have a look. I'll have a look on Twitter. I want to see what others are saying about the playability. Do that, so that's quite good. is there to collect?
To whatever that Iskara had planned for us.
A lunar call?
Yeah, that's me. How did you...
Matthias Sumner sent me. He needs you to...
Oh, that jerk.
To analyze this.
Where did you get this? The energies it's giving off. I can evaluate this data back at the fort.
I'll take Aruna and the rest of the prisoners in the Strider. You should take out that Iskara she mentioned. Kidnapping? Sounds like bad news.
Do we know what this Iskara looks like?
The Sentinel said it was huge and dangerous. Found the Iskara we're looking for. We have to take it down. Discovered anything about those samples?
The mission has been completed. Yeah, I'm not that familiar with this, so it felt a bit strange. Probably just the way to collect scores, really, to be jumping in just like that. Was less lag as we progressed, but right at the beginning was dropped in. I literally couldn't go anywhere. Okay, expedition complete. It's 4 ranges. Okay. Legionnaire medal. Experience points. Okay. Got that. And then we have that as well. 500. bonus. $22.50. Legionnaire medal. Okay, so that's completed. Loot. So this is the way you do it. You go to free play, you join other people's missions, but I thought free play was simply to be exploring rather than getting back into combat. I don't know, we'll try it again, we'll see. And let's see whether it's snowing. As you know, in Britain we are having some fierce weather, and we had some snow overnight. In the area where I am, it is raining rather than snowing. It's not below zero, so it's not surprising, but some other areas of Britain have been absolutely blitzed by this polar weather of snow and cold and wind and everything. Fortunately, I'm not there. Enjoying my very, very hot house. And all looking really, really good as we're enjoying our Anthem gameplay. What's happening there? I've not seen that. What is this? Been here before. Just added something, but it did not provide me with any information. Applon Gaming is here. Hello, how are you doing, sir? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming and joining our new Anthem community, and obviously for the gameplay of Anthem on our second weekend. Applon Gaming is asking, how is Anthem? Well, I could tell you, Anthem is a splendid game. It is absolutely terrific. And so far, we are on the second weekend, and we are trying the gameplay. And during the first weekend, we had lots of technical problems, and there were difficulties with logging in, and there was a lot of lag causing rubber banding. There was infinite loading screen. We are not getting most of those today. The only problem I had so far during the gameplay was rubber banding, which is, you know, the massive lag, which meant that I was then stuck to one place and I couldn't go anywhere, and obviously caused me quite a few difficulties in firefights and runs with the team, because anybody else looking at me, it looks like I'm just standing and I'm trying to move away and I can't. But on the other hand, the gameplay has been absolutely awesome, and the guys playing the game have been really helpful and supportive. As you know, it's a multiplayer game, so we always have to be doing it in a team of 4. And literally during the demo weekend, everybody's encouraged to be doing teamwork, so we are being dropped into a team of 4, either through free play or through story and stronghold missions. And so far, really, really good, and I'm loving it. I think it's a tremendous game. One of the biggest games to come out of BioWare altogether, one of the biggest games of the decade, and indeed they're still trying to work out as to why these problems were caused, but it's likely that the game, as it's been tested, or perhaps not even beta tested to a degree where everything would be problem free, is still evolving. And you know, I have to certainly say that the gameplay tonight, and I've been doing broadcasts already for 3 hours, I tested the game for about half an hour beforehand, so that's altogether 3.5 hours, is a lot smoother, a lot better to what we had last week. But in terms of the actual gameplay, I think it's absolutely astonishing. The quantity of routes you can pursue, the types of enemies you encounter, the options you have are infinite, and I'm loving it. You know, really, it is a combination of several games in one, but looking and feeling very, very original. And I'd say the game that this one feels closest to is Mass Effect Trilogy. if anyone tells you it's similar to Warframe or Destiny, that's not quite the case. It does have the concept of Destiny, which is the open world, you know, the vast quantity of missions, and lots of planets and lots of fierce enemies. But the way you do it is inherently completely different. Meaning that in this game you have a story, which is basically follow-through RPG, and it is very substantial. And you are progressing the story according to your decisions and your choices, which you are making when you talk to different characters. And then you are having firefights and you have missions, and then the missions are different. That you have story missions, you have quests, you have sub-quests, you have stronghold missions, which are similar to what you have in Destiny as raids, and you know, altogether a very, very enjoyable gaming experience. It is a vast game, which I'm certain we are going to be able to play for many, many months and many years ahead. And you know, so far so good. Applon Gaming says, oh, is it? I hear a lot of positivity about Anthem. I just downloaded the demo. I can't wait to play it. Well, I'd say if you downloaded the demo, just, you know, absolutely jump in, crack on straight away and try it. The download is very, very big. It's 29 gigs for console, 42 gigs for PC. Can I just ask you, are you going to be doing it on PlayStation or on PC or perhaps even on Xbox? Because I have to warn you, if you're on Xbox, there have been lots of complaints coming in today that Xbox is having logging in difficulties. Hopefully that's all been resolved by now, but I've seen during the initial hour that everyone from the Xbox community was sending messages to BioWare saying Xbox access is not working, which has not been the case for PC and PlayStation. So hopefully all very, very nice, easy and rosy for you. I'm just quite curious to see how this works from the rear. I see. So what we can do is we can just literally go back, start expedition, and we'll see what is out there for us. Academy Range Stronghold, is it? Select. We go to free play, and then quick play, mission, out, and then we'll start expedition. So it's quite easy really to select. Once you selected your free play, you choose whether you want to be jumping in on mission or on stronghold, and then after that you simply crack on. And there we are, we have been dropped in to recover the manifold from the inner chamber. So let's see. Being dropped into another section of the game, because obviously it looks like when I'm doing free play I'm being dropped into an existing team. Not sure what's happening. Yeah, it's just literally not dropping me into the correct area. So the game's just scanning for the area where I need to go. But overall, on the technical front, Anthem is operating better than last weekend, for certain. There's no question about that. That's very good. And I'm getting very hungry, so we are going to do a few more missions, and then I'm going to have my dinner, and then we'll carry on until the tiny weeny hours.
For some purpose. You must break the link before the manifold can be removed.
So we have to recover the manifold from the inner chamber. Okay. Who knows what to do, hopefully. What is this? That is not it. And red. Move. Yellow. Okay.
Barriers down.
Be as careful as you can. The manifold is fragile.
And dangerous.
Probably that too.
There we are. We, I guess, completed the mission already. A bit strange, really. The free play doesn't seem to work correctly, because I should be able to just explore any area rather than join a team. I don't know what's happening. I need to work out whether I'm doing something wrong.